Hey guys, welcome to lesson number 1. Today we're gonna discuss about general freight forwarding and general logistics to Amazon. As always, the good friend and big Amazon seller Vova joined me today to ask some questions. And let's start with basic logistics.
Yeah, man, so it's good that we're doing this. It's pretty exciting for the viewers. We want to provide you with the best content for freight forwarding, so you as Amazon seller, like me Amazon seller, can understand better logistics. And let's talk about the basics. So Amit, I want to pick your brain, man.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of experience in this. You ship quite many cargoes around the world. And for us Amazon sellers, sometimes we want to understand how it all works. So I have a few questions for you. So for example, let's start with the first question I have for you, which is quite general, but what is freight forwarding?
Yeah, so this is a good question, man. Freight forwarding in general is a profession started around the mid-50s of the 20th century. And the basic idea behind it, there is a shipping line and airline. Somebody needs to connect between the shipping line and the customs in the destination when you perform the custom clearance. Mm-hmm. A typical Amazon seller will never be able to negotiate ocean freight or air freight with the carriers directly, or have zero the ability or professional to know how to be in touch with local customs at destination. So this is why they become a professional such as freight forwarder, and this is what we do.
So you're a freight forwarder, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
We've actually introduced ourselves in the previous video, but here is again your company's kind of brief, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I've used Amit services as well for shipping, which is pretty fine. And so that's what is freight forwarding. It's easy. It's an easier way to get your goods essentially to wherever they're needed, and that's true. Me as an Amazon seller, I am not that knowledgeable in this, and I'd rather take someone who knows it better so I can do it faster, maybe cheaper even, and in a safer way. So that's freight forwarding. So let's get to the next question. Why do we choose a freight forwarder versus the kind of normal shipping agent that the factory in China, for example, might provide us with? Why would I choose your services, for example?
Yeah, so this is a great question, Vova. We can cover it quite a lot in this topic, but the main idea is that when you use the shipper to do the shipping in your behalf, what they're going to do, they will choose a local freight forwarder. If we talk about China, so they will choose a local Chinese freight forwarder to do the shipping in your behalf. The main problem in this is there is the shipper doesn't really care about the total freight you're gonna pay. So we present you the freight rate that he got from the local freight forwarder, and let's say $200 on the service. When freight forwarder will try to negotiate with the carriers to find you the best solution in this regard, in regard to shipping rate. And the second, and even more important in my opinion, that when you're using the shipper freight forwarder, you will have almost zero control on the cargo. So you will not know exactly when the goods picked up, when it's gonna depart, where the exact location of the goods. When we use a professional freight forwarder, it will provide you with exact cargo status, where exact locate of the cargo now, when it should be released from customs, when gonna be the final delivery to Amazon. So for Amazon sellers, and in general, I can say that every seller that now gives the goods to any freight forwarder is on a ticking bomb, meaning he is very, very stressful when the goods will arrive to Amazon and so on. And in the way to Amazon, there is millions of things can go wrong. So a good freight forwarder can provide you answers, provide you maybe solutions for the things that are happening. So I highly suggest, of course, to use a freight forwarder.
Yeah, as an Amazon seller, I also want the peace of mind, because I know that once I send my goods, it takes, like, if it's, for example, sea shipping, like 30 days to reach Amazon, more or less. And I want to be sure that I'm in good hands, which kind of makes sense. And I want my questions answered whenever I ask them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We'll just get good customer experience and generally good prices. And the big thing is essentially get the questions answered with the shippers, as we mentioned, that are used with the Chinese factories. And again, that's all from experience. You don't get much information from them, really.
Right.
They give you limited information and you're wondering. That's what I remember when I use, for example, the factory's shipping agent, let's say. they don't really answer many questions. Like it's very like I'm like, so yeah, it's supposed to arrive there, and you're like, okay, hopefully it will. So yeah, that's the good thing why we should choose a freight forwarder. And the next question, kind of basically, when do we use a freight forwarder? Like
so I think this is quite a generic issue. We use a freight forwarder when we need to ship a goods from the shipper. Again, sometimes the goods will be ready, I don't know, in 20th of September, or sometimes it will be ready on the 5th of October. So essentially, when the goods are ready, then we approach a freight forwarder, get a quote. If the quote is confirmed, so then the freight forwarder will contact your supplier and handle the pickup and so on until it reaches Amazon.
Yeah, we're going to cover it more in depth for different shipping methods in the next videos, but I understand. And last kind of question for this basic introduction is, what are the common logistic methods?
Yeah, so we have 3 logistics methods. 2 are more common. This is air and sea shipping. There is different type of air and different type of sea shipping. We will cover this in the next lessons as we discuss. Yeah. And also there is, from China specific, there is a train service to Europe going by the Trans-Siberian train. By the way, if somebody wants to do a good trip, so this is a great trip to do. Yeah. That's it, we will cover everything with the next lessons.
Perfect, so that's the end of lesson number 1, the basics. And next lesson we're going to continue to the commercial terms of shipping, which are EXW, FOB, DDU, and DDP. So see you in the next video. Amit!
Thank you.
First lesson done.
Yeah.
Second to go.